Welcome back to the original box set Shadowrun podcast. In the last episode, Gears and Odysseus began their stakeout on Lino using a Simpsons brothel to hide in while they worked. Gears also indulged in Tempo, a drug that let him experience what it's like to be in astral space. With the fun out of the way, they focus on getting Lino's work schedule, and Odysseus meets a new contact who may have information on his missing friend. Our GM is Max. Gears is played by Jay, Odysseus is played by John, and Sunny Day is played by Cassie. We hope you enjoy listening.
Yesterday evening, we left off with Odysseus and Gears attempting to shadow Lino. I forgot Lino's last name. Let me see if I can find it. But they were attempting to shadow him, find out what he's doing, look for an opportunity to snag him. As they have been hired by Sunny. Actually, they've been hired by Lucky to pick him up. Yep. Did I miss anything? Yeah, they're hanging out in the Simpsons brothel.
Yep. Jay had an experience. Gears had an experience.
Gears had an experience. Lino Sabatini, that's what his name is. Okay, so how do we want to start off tonight?
Where we left off?
All right, did we get to Sunday game yet? Because I think that we started our stakeout Friday, followed him all day Saturday. We don't know what he did after he got back to the house. I think that's where we left off, right?
Yeah, so he had gone on Saturday to the mall?
Yes.
Yes. And so it was at the end of Saturday is when we stopped. And that's when Gears decided to try some Tempo. And then he popped out and he said, "Hey dude, there's like a little fire child following you around."
Oh yeah, he did see that.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so it was the game with him taking over Lino and me to sleep.
So yeah, we're on Saturday night rolling into Sunday morning. And you were on watch while he was on Tempo. And so it's probably early Sunday morning at this point when we pick up. Lino most likely is sleeping as he has both jobs to go to on Sunday. So between like 2 a.m. and when Lino gets up at 6 a.m., what do you guys want to do?
I'll let John get some sleep while I watch.
Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Dice rolling time. Dice rolling. Roll a die. Roll another die. This early hour, it is a incredible monsoon going down outside. The rain is torrential. It washes the windows. It makes communication between you and your drone difficult. Because your drone's in the building, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so every once in a while you'll get a little bit of static connection. Not really, especially if you've got the noise reduction turned all the way up. Yeah, no, I don't think it'd be much of a problem. But if it wasn't, but it's definitely a loud pounding rain, and it goes on for hours, making looking at what's going on in the house impossible. So luckily you have your little fly spy. The only thing you notice is around 2 a.m., Bessie gets a text message, and she sits up in bed, and she reads the text message for a little while, and then she texts back and forth to whoever she's texting to for a little bit, and then crawls back in bed, goes back to sleep. And then a couple hours later, Lino gets up, starts doing his early morning routine, about 5:30-ish.
I'll just watch him until he leaves. Is Betsy still there?
After he leaves, yeah.
Oh, well, definitely.
She's sleeping still.
Would you have woken me up so somebody can follow Lino when he leaves?
Yeah. Is she sleeping still?
Yes.
Can I hot sim into my fly and go over and try to work her phone by stepping on buttons and stuff?
Yes.
I'm going to do that.
Okay.
I want to see what the last couple texts were about.
Okay. You know specifically that her phone requires pressure and heat, and the drone does not provide heat. So you're going to have to find a way to warm the drone up so that the phone will even sense it.
Can I work its inner workings? Like I'm thinking overclock it so that it kind of starts to overheat.
Yes, you do have jury rig. You can make that happen. But if you do that kind of thing, you can look at damaging your...
Yeah, I want to be very careful about it.
All you have to do is, it's going to be some pretty high-end rolls. I just want to let you know that your objective is to get your drone to be about body temperature. And then, not actual inside body temperature, but outside body temperature.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a computer plus logic roll. And you can utilize your jury rig.
I think my jury rig adds 2.
Yes.
That wasn't right. Greater than 5. 3 successes.
Okay. With 3 successes, you're able to get your drone to begin getting some reception with the phone. Now you've just got to figure out her passcode, whatever it happens to be, which is a logic plus electronic warfare to crack it.
Analytical mind helps me with that too. I've got to look it up exactly.
It gives you 2 extra dice pool on logic test for involving pattern recognition and cracking ciphers.
Okay. So, and you said logic and warfare?
Yes.
12. 3 successes.
Okay, I was looking for 4. You're really smart, so we're going to say you're just not getting your drone hot enough to get the pad to respond to it.
Okay.
If you can find some creative way to warm that drone up, I'll reduce the required from 4 to 3.
It's gonna start. I'm gonna make it start rubbing its ass on the blanket. Build up some friction.
Build up some friction? Okay, that sounds good. Alright, go ahead and roll again.
This is the warfare one?
Yes.
5 successes.
Brilliant. Alright, getting into the warm sheets and rubbing around, well, really helps get the drone pepped up and warm enough that the little touch-sensitive screen will pick it up. I'm going to give her at least 3 dice to notice there's now a bug in the bed with her. Yeah. She got 14 successes.
That's impressive. She only rolled 3 dice.
Try that again. It still didn't work. Come on.
Gotta put a number in.
2 successes. You're able to access the code and get into her phone.
Okay. I want to go to the text messages.
You go to the text messages, and the most recent text message was from Eddie Miller.
Okay. What's it say?
Well, it's a penis pic.
Huh.
And thinking you, babe, this is your 2 a.m. call. She responded back with things like, don't do that kind of stuff. I'm trying to sleep. He responds back, you could sleep better over here. She laughs, he laughs, and then she says goodnight.
Is there a picture of Eddie Miller that I can find?
Well, you've got a picture of his penis.
Yeah, but I don't know if I can identify him by his penis.
You could if you used that to go into the NSA's files, because the NSA has pictures of everybody's penis.
Right, but I want to know if it's the same guy that stopped by yesterday.
Sure. Okay. You have his number, so that's part of SIN, so now it's a matrix perception roll to start hunting him down.
Okay.
Do you remember what matrix perception was?
Not exactly.
Computer and intuition, data processing is your limit, so since you're using your phone, that's 5.
4.
Okay. About an hour's worth of searching. Yeah, you find out that Eddie Miller is currently the owner of a DeLorean that has been recently rebuilt.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to know.
Unless there's, she's flirting with guys specifically who like DeLoreans.
Right.
Which would make sense. That's a pretty cool car.
It is.
Yeah.
Cool.
The car itself increases your social limit and gives you 2 extra dice on social tests just because it's that cool of a car.
I need his car.
John, you get up in the morning and you tail Lino.
Yes.
He goes to Silver Station again. This morning he gets early, he's there. You watch from where?
Well, it worked out well yesterday, so I'll do my whole soy bucks, cappuccino, and cigarettes thing again.
Okay. Sitting at the soy bucks, watching from across the street, you every once in a while get a bird's eye. You can see what's going on. He goes in and out of the back station. He helps trucks drive in. He drives a truck every once in a while. At some point,
I sent my flash by with him just like yesterday too, so I'll have that following him.
You can't, because after he leaves the house, yeah, she's still at the house. And so your fly spy's at the house playing with her phone and snuggling up to her. You get to see him go in and out. You watch him drive a truck or two. He comes out. He helps another mechanic as they're working on a truck in the actual yard and stuff like that. What was supposed to happen? Okay. Yeah, it's pretty much a cut and dry day. Bam! You watch him up until lunchtime, and around 11:30 or so, they go ahead and let him go.
Okay. I'll message Gears, let him know that he's leaving for lunch. I'm going to start tailing him, then let him know where he goes so he can pick up after that.
I'll collect my fly spy and hit the road.
Okay. You two meet up, or do you just swap out and not meet up?
Probably just pass him on the highway or whatever.
Oh yeah, because we already know where he's headed. He's headed to...
Well, no, I'll just track down Odysseus's motorcycle and then let him know I'm behind him, and then Odysseus can split off and go somewhere else.
Okay.
That works.
And Jay, you follow Lino to a lunch. He stops at a deli shop, gets some food, hangs out outside, chills a bit.
I want to have my fly spy stay close enough to like be able to hear him, and I'm listening for specifically. I want to hear if he talks about his day off coming soon or something, or we need to find out when his days off are.
Okay. You'll probably get more information by getting into his actual work computers faster because you're going to be waiting for this guy to spill the beans. You already know where he works at, so it might be easier to get a hold of that data from those locations. I mean, how hard is it to break into a truck stop and a clothing sales store?
Okay.
You guys are professionals. Break and enter.
Right.
Sitting and watching, the only thing you pick up during his lunch conversation is he gets a text message from somebody who sits there and says that the package has arrived and it's available for your pickup whenever you're ready. That's it. And he responds back with a series of numbers. Beep, 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 beep. And that's it.
Okay.
You don't think that's any kind of code, so it looked more like a credit card number, actually.
Okay. Did I see the number?
Yeah. Your fly spy can record stuff, so you have the number recorded.
Okay.
But then after he gets done eating, he immediately heads off to South Edge Mall to Greater Clothes and goes in to work. You know, he changes in his car to his shitty little, employee outfit, black collared shirt and black slacks with his specialized ankle bracelet and heads into the store.
While nothing's happening, I want to see if I can look up that number for that pack to see what he's picking up.
Okay. Babe, did you have something?
That,
What's that? It's more than half the dice?
yes.
Oh, I always thought it was equal to or greater than half the dice. Oh, man, that makes it harder for them to happen.
You can still play it.
I will keep that in mind. I like bad
Yeah.
things to happen because that makes it more fun sometimes.
Yeah, personally, I'm happy with the equal to or more than half.
And Jay's like, no. Sometimes I'm rolling only 2 dice.
Hey, sometimes I'm only rolling one, so.
Jay, you follow him to work. Did you want to go into the mall and watch him?
Yeah.
Okay. From where?
But I'm just gonna stay like 50 feet behind him or so.
Okay.
Pretend like I'm looking at stuff.
Okay, so while he's walking around, at some point he'll walk up and say, welcome to Greater Clothes. Can I help you with anything?
Oh yeah. Working. I'm tired, sorry. I was thinking he was shopping.
No, he's working.
No, I don't want to go in. No.
Okay. So you don't want to see him face to face.
Right.
So you just want to hang out in the parking lot, watch his car.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and watch him with the fly spy.
Okay. Not a problem. Not a problem. Guess what? It's boring as hell. He talks about sports. He hangs out because Greater Clothes is like a covering of everything. Sports, apparel, sporting, outdoor apparel and stuff like that. So it's a wide variety. And so that's all he's doing. He's going around and he's selling. And he's not really good at selling either. He's really bad at it. Hey dude, you really need this. You need this. And that's pretty much his pitch. So you get to listen to that for about 6 hours.
So during that time, I want to try to use computer warfare or whatever to find out about the code for the package.
Go ahead, make computer plus intuition.
Computer plus intuition.
Yep.
5 is 8. Oh my god. So is that a glitch or is that a critical glitch or not?
Yeah, that's a glitch.
Only half.
Yes, I'm for this game purpose and moving forward, we're gonna, for right now, half and above. So you put that number out there, turns out it's a tracking number, so you try to use the tracking number, you find out that it's going through FedEx, and so you attempt like 3 times to log in, trying to figure out what his email happens to be, but in the end, FedEx decides to go ahead and block your IP address from your phone because of your multiple attempts to look it up.
Okay.
John, while he's watching Lino at the Greater Sales, that's going to be till about 6-ish or so, and your meeting's at 7.
Yeah. After Gears picks up following, I'm gonna swing by a whatever that taco place is, get a chalupa libre.
Chululubube.
And spend some time back at Yan Yan's watching the house.
Yep.
just to see if anybody comes and goes.
Yeah, there's the DeLorean parked out front.
Oh, that car. Yeah, side quest. Get that car. Okay. How long does he stay? Does he stay there like hours and hours?
Yeah, from probably about 2:30ish on to about 5:30. And Lino, Lino's supposed to be getting off at work at 6.
Okay.
So he leaves right before then.
Okay. After the DeLorean leaves, I'm gonna message Gears and let him know I have a meeting I have to get to. Let me know if anything comes up, and I'll be right there.
Got it. I will hold down the fort.
And then I'll head over to your beer garden.
Okay. So we'll do some quick side. Jay, you follow Lino back to the place. You get to Yan Yan's. It's, have ordered like 5 boxes of pizza. They actually have a number of people here hanging out. So the front room's going to be packed. Yan Yan wants to know if you don't care being bugged. Otherwise, she'll shut the door and tell people to leave you alone. Otherwise, you can join them. They're going to be having some, playing Twister.
No, I'll just lock myself in the room.
Okay.
No one bother me.
Okay. Lino, while you're there, she has prepared dinner. Lino shows up. They have a good time talking. They watch some TV. They hang out. They make out on the couch. These are the things that you're going to pretty much be entitled to know is what their afternoon's like. Completely exciting. You do notice he doesn't mention anything about getting a package to her. Like, hey, the package is arriving or anything along those lines. He talks about...
But she's been getting a package.
She mostly just sits there and, wants to make sure dinner's okay, snuggle with him on the couch, have cushy pillow talk and whatnot, and watch romantic movies. All right, we're going to flip-flop over to Das Biergarten. How do you want to set this up there, John?
Well, when I get there, hopefully I'm there before the night errant guy shows up. And I'm going to head up to my apartment and grab my cash. Just because I don't know how much he's going to need for his information, or if he'll need more to give me more. And then I'm going to hang out in my usual corner booth and just wait for Hans to recognize somebody that comes in and start talking to him like there's business.
Right around like 5 till 7, a 2 meter tall, skinny, dark-skinned, dark-haired man comes in. His clothes hangs on him. You can definitely tell he's got the walk of a detective. You see the badge on his hip and stuff like that. So he's walking in. He's like smiling, being really friendly to everybody. Hello, how is everybody? How you doing? He just seems really smilish as he walks up and he shakes Han's hand, and Han gives a nod to him, says, sure, not a problem. And then he walks with this guy over towards your table. He doesn't look like a dangerous individual. In fact, he probably should eat a few meals. It looks like he's missed some. But he's very smiley, and as he gets close to the table, before Hans even introduces him, he's extending a hand to shake yours.
Oh, okay. Well, as I see them approaching the booth, I'll stand up and I'll, greet him properly with a handshake.
Hello.
Hello, are you, I'm Mr. Green. It's nice to meet you.
I am, hang on. I just lost his name. I am Detective O'Halloran. It's Irish. But he doesn't look Irish at all. He smiles. His hands are huge for a big, he's long. So he shakes your hand. He's just like, pulls out a phone and says, Hans, is this the man who, and Hans nods. Okay. So he pulls up a seat and sits down and goes, you're interested in the investigation that happened at, and he bouts out the address. He says, the investigation that went on at Round Table Drive?
I am, but can we get you something to eat before we talk? A beer?
Oh, yeah, a beer would be good. I like that, yeah. And, so Hans is, you run through it and he wants a Pilsner, so he's like, okay, so he sits there and goes, did you know? And he says, I will ask you questions and you will tell me answers. And if you don't want me to write these answers down, you say so and I won't. But since I am on the investigation, I'm trying to find answers. And you share with me, I share with you.
A fair deal.
So, you know someone who lived there, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And he sits there and says, I don't have Yi's last name. It was like Chung.
It was Kong.
Hong?
Kong, like King Kong.
Kong. Do you know Yi Kong?
Yes.
Oh, good. She's the one I'm looking for.
Well, we have the same goal then.
Have you, and his facial expression is really, I'm trying to mimic it. Have you ever done detective work?
No, I've never.
Beer shows up. Hans also brings over, pieces of toasted bread and cheese to dip it in. And, he sits there and goes, what would you like to know?
Well, she, disappeared under, what appeared to be some mysterious circumstances. I was just hoping to find out. I'm sure she was okay.
Yes, very mysterious circumstances. But not so mysterious that I am confused. I think, and he waves his hands in a broad manner, she might have made a friend that was not so friendly.
Could you elaborate?
Oh, yes. He stops for a moment and he kind of contemplates how to move forward and he goes, let me show you things. And he plays with his little phone for a minute and he brings up pictures of claw marks that you saw, the big knife claw marks and whatnot, and he shows them to you. He says, do these look familiar?
They do look vaguely familiar.
So you have been to the round table, yes? Mrs. Kong's address?
Yes, and that's what spurred my concern for this claw.
Yeah. These claw marks are not from Mrs. Kong's address. So, I am following a kidnapper who does not like wallpaper. And he smiles. No, it is not a person who does not like wallpaper. It is probably something far worse than an orc, or an ogre, or troll, or minotaur who is angry. Do you believe in demons and devils, Mr. Green?
Well, I typically believe in things that I've seen, but I've seen things that I didn't believe.
I believe that Seattle is haunted by a demon who takes women. And he sits there and starts kind of feeling through, and he's like, do you have a phone to receive a few files on?
I do. I'll give him the number to one of my spare phones that I don't really use.
Okay. He sits there and says, what I'm about to give to you does not come free.
I'll pull out a stack of cash and put it, a little bit off to the side on the table.
Okay.
This is cash that we got from that one heist in the storage unit.
Yes.
How was that still banded and all nicely stacked?
Yes.
Okay. What is the per stack? How much is in each stack?
Probably about 200.
Okay. So I'll pull out 5 stacks.
Okay. His eyes kind of lighten up.
And then I'll take a stack off and put it in the middle towards him.
He nods, kind of looking at it for a minute, licks his lips. He will send over 5 files. He sits there and says, they are dated in order of when it struck. It, whatever it is, goes after women, vulnerable women, women who cannot defend themselves. It has taken 5 in the last 2 months, and it happens once every other week, sometimes once a week. No blood, just gone, house torn to pieces.
How many have gone missing so far?
The thing has been active quite a bit. When I took over the case, and he nods, before October, I know that it had been at least 3 before then, but since October, including Miss Kong, at least 12, so 15 in all.
So the files that he's sent over, is that pictures of the scenes, or is it more?
Scenes, the addresses in question, names. It's actually a pretty hefty amount of information. A lot of sin-related information is attached to these files.
Okay. I'll pull another stack off and move it in front of me from the side. I want to ask him. So this demon, do you have, any idea of where it came from or what it is?
He sits there and shakes his head. I know not what it is. I can tell you what my mother would tell me, and she would speak of ancient demons and beasts who come seeking greed, lust, blood, warfare, mayhem, and these things would seize up from the ground, from hell itself. I do know one secret, and at this point in time, he says, he stops himself. I wouldn't say it's a secret. Secrets are bad words in my business. I would say I might have a lead.
I'll put the stack in front of me on top of the stack I put in the middle.
So we're talking there's 3 stacks out there now?
Oh, it's just 2.
Just 2?
Yes, it's 400.
Okay. He sits there and nods and goes, the creature hides. The creature hides in someone, at least. And he stops and he reaches into his coat at this point in time, into his jacket.
Should I roll perception?
If you want to.
I don't like surprises at a codes. 6 successes.
He pulls out a small pile of papers and sets them down in front of you. They look like they've got arcane markings on them, pentagrams, scrawl marks, claw marks, and stuff like that. It looks like it was part of a book, but the book's fallen apart, and it's got this really old, weathered, torn, kind of tea-stained, kicking, like this should be coming out of a mage's spellbook bullshit. And he sits there and he kind of plays with it for a minute and he slides them across, and you see it looks like it was drawn with blood, but it looks like the visage of a half man, half wolf.
A werewolf.
He nods.
Well, I mean, we don't have full moons every other week.
Those are folklore. That is not how it works. When the full moon comes, and he kind of looks to the pieces of paper, he says, and he points at it, he sits there and shows, he can't really read it. He sits there and says, when the full moon comes, it's when they lose their mind, and that's when they kill without control. But before then, they are in control, both man and beast, working together. A perfect team. But they hunger for blood and meat of man. So this one is smart. It captures its victims and then takes them somewhere. And he shrugs.
All of these addresses that he sent me, are they spread across Seattle, or are they? Okay, so they're not all necessarily in Night territory.
Nope.
How's he doing on his beer?
He's finished it by now.
Okay, I'll get somebody's attention to get him a refill.
Okay.
What was his last name? Oh, something.
O'Halloran.
O'Halloran. Detective O'Halloran.
Yep.
Is there anything more that you can tell me?
Yes. There is one more piece of information, and you will help pay for my granddaughter's ballet classes with it. And he smiles.
I'll take 2 more stacks and put them on his file.
Oh, he gets really excited. He sits there and goes, and he shuffles the pieces of paper around and produces a printout that has several, what looks to be camera view images of a guy. Trench coat, glasses, swooped back hair, ponytail, looks really kind of burly. And then he sits there and points at one, says, this is a street cam not too far from this address. This was a street cam not too far from that address. And he kind of points out that, there are 3 pictures of him, and one of them is not too far from Round Table, the night in question. And then he sits there and says, and then the most important one, he slides out a picture of the guy standing outside a nightclub called Howl at the Moon.
Of course.
Which, of this place. It's in Tacoma. You kind of heard about it. It's semi-popular. Lots of people go there and hang out and drink and party and stuff like that.
That's not the one that ye took me to, is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Do you say that out loud?
No. That was out of
Got it.
context, or out of character. Detective, I have only one more question I can to ask.
He's drinking on his beer. Mm-hmm.
Do you need silver bullets to put a werewolf down?
He stops and goes, I don't know. We have a special division in Knight Errant that deals with things like this. Do you know if it takes silver bullets?
It's the first werewolf I've come across.
Just remember, the whole world thinks they don't exist. Alright, at this point in time, he sits there and says, as he's drinking down some Pilsner and whatnot. He reaches in, he takes his phone, picks it up, and he says, one more thing. And he slides over. Because there's an investigation at this point in time, and they think they have an idea that it's the same person doing the same attacks, but they can't pin it on Mr. Sunglasses Man. By the way, the attacks happen at night, and he was wearing sunglasses at night. They can't pin it on Mr. Sunglasses Man because it's just coincidence. What he tells you, what he slides over to that phone you put out, is a warrant for the arrest of the person, or any information leading to the attacks. And it has a nice 5K number attached to it. So Knight Errant, because of all the wealthy individuals who've been targeted, decided to put a bounty on this individual's head.
On the warrant, do I notice if it says dead or alive?
No, because it's asking for, 5K that will lead to the arrest of the individual responsible for,
okay,
closing this case.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, Detective O'Halloran, do you have any questions for me?
Oh, no. That number, would it be okay if I contact you if I need you for anything? Such as if I find new information that will help pay for something else that my granddaughter needs.
Yes, please do.
Okay, and you can contact me as well, because if you find out anything that would be useful, that amount of money could do nicely, even if I only get a small part of it.
Oh, if I get any leads, you'll be the first one I call.
And if I catch this guy, I'm pretty sure this will help me get promotions. And he smiles.
I'll raise what's left of my beer to him.
All right, so you can put O'Halloran down as a contact, KE police officer, and he works the Everett division, so he's up in Everett, if you were want to get specific where he's at. Since he is a detective, his connections will be a 3, and because he's a really nice guy, his loyalty is actually going to start off at a 3, too. Actually, we'll say it starts off at a 2. I mean, he's willing to jump out there, just not take a bullet for you.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. So Halloran, connection 3, loyalty 2. Does he have a professional rating I can put down?
Yes, as a detective, professional rating will be a 3, which means if he's got a gun, he knows how to use it, and also be a detective.
Okay. And you said he's in Tacoma?
Everett,
sorry.
Tacoma would be out of his jurisdiction. That's why he hasn't gone down there and done any investigating. Because Tacoma is run by Kagami, and so that means he'd be crossing lines and causing problems. So if you can figure it out, hey, you make money, he makes money, he gets a promotion, everybody's happy.
Excellent. All right, well, I'll put the rest of my cash back in my pocket.
Okay.
And we'll make sure I note that I spent 400 of it. No, yes, 400. No, 800 of it.
800 of it. Because you're paying for his granddaughter's ballet class.
She better invite me to a recital or something.
Are you going to mention that to him?
Oh, yeah, when he's leaving, I'll say, let me know when her recital is, your granddaughter's recital.
Of course, and he nods. He drinks the rest of his Pilsner, grabs a few pieces of bread, tosses some into his pocket, and sticks another one in his mouth, says a goodbye to you and Hans as he heads out the door into the rain.
Right, perfect. Side quest action.
Side quest action! Because you just picked up a quest to do something good, I will definitely let you know that I plan to award you a hefty amount of karma if you track down this murderous individual. I mean, like, normally hunting and killing someone in Shadowrun or capturing them isn't really worth too much karma, like 1 or 2, but I think this would be kind of cool, especially if you turn it into a werewolf hunt.
Oh, yeah.
It just means you need to do some research on werewolves. Oh, the cool pieces of paper and stuff, he left.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll gather all that up and put it in a safe place in my apartment.
Okay.
Because I think I know a detective that might be able to cross the boundaries and get some information on some different investigations.
Yeah. Might have to hire them out. After your meeting, do you want to head back up to Yan Yan's?
Yeah. I'm going to take a bratwurst to go.
Okay. Jay, you've been at Yan Yan's watching through your spy. It's gotten boring. Lino and Bessie have gone to the room to do some smushing, and the more entertaining action seems to be coming from the front room of the trailer.
What's going on in the front of the trailer?
Everyone's getting high.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't know.
Okay. So probably around 9 o'clock, John? Do you think that seemed a good time for you to show up? Yeah. Around 9 o'clock is when Odysseus shows up. The front room Odysseus is just lots of people high, hooked up to machines. Yeah.
I'm just going to go right past.
Yeah, as you're walking down the hall, you hear somebody go, "Oh my God, some sort of crazy trench coat wearing mafia person just walked through. Did anybody else see him, or am I just hallucinating?"
But nobody mentions Sphera. Just crazy trench coat wearing. I'm sorry, hold on a second.
Go ahead. So you arrive at the trailer around 9-ish.
Yeah, so I'll just go head straight back to the room, see what's going on. Gears.
What is going on with Gears?
Nothing. I'm just sitting there watching him smush.
Anything good?
No. Apparently he humps like a gorilla, so it's not that great.
I'll pull out the pocket Kama Sutra and show you that I got it for him when we were at the mall.
I'm gonna start looking through the book. Be like, that's very interesting. I may have to try that one sometime.
That one's for very advanced people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm young. I think my leg could bend back that far. And I start to do it. Like, I try to do it. Try to lift my leg up to my head, but I failed miserably.
All right. Back.
Yeah, maybe I'll save that one.
All right. Eakin says you should be careful about astral crabs there, Gears.
I heard about that. I read that. Yeah. And pregnant.
Okay, so, yeah, you guys hang out, you watch them do their smushing, then they pass out, they lay down. Do you guys want to take turns watching them for the night?
Yep. Oh, well, I want to let him know, I want to let Odysseus know that we need to break into his workplaces to get some information. Like, when he has a day off or something.
Okay. I'm good with breaking and entering when there's nobody there.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Like tonight?
Okay. Should we do the garage first or the clothing store? Probably the garage.
Don't think it matters really. The garage probably would be the hardest. What kind of clothing store is it? Like, is it a high scale clothing store?
Moderate. But it's attached to a mall.
Yeah. Is it like in the mall, or is there an entrance outside of the mall to get into that store line?
You're going to have to break into the mall to get in.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. That would make it a little more difficult because mall security.
Yeah.
Man, have you tried calling Zoe recently? She should be a great help.
Not since we started, and I was gonna try to do some research on that. I could have done that on some of the downtime that I had today while he was gone.
Make calls and see if you can't get a hold of her?
Well, I'm thinking more look her up in the system and see if I can't find something.
Okay. Yeah, how many successes can you buy? Because it's a matrix perception, which is computer plus intuition. Your analytical mind cannot assist you at this, so it's just your computer and intuition.
Well, I have 8 total. I forget how the buying works.
For every 4, you can buy 1.
So I could buy 2.
Yeah. So you could look her up into the system and try to re-tackle going into Jackpoint and see what you can find out there.
Yeah.
Okay. The only thing you find up at Jackpoint is she's one of the first and truly the easiest thing to find out is that Zamora, being that's her fake name, or maybe it's not, you're not really sure. Zamora sells stuff on the Jackpoint auction house, basically. And so people can put bids on information she's got up there. And so that's like the next thing you find out about her. She sells information.
Well, a question for you. I want to make sure that I'm not metagaming, so I'm going to leave it up to you. Is there something that would make me think, hey, let's check police records or the news recently?
In-game, she hasn't gone to jail yet. In-game, she's right now on an island hanging out with her muscular Indian boyfriend, having copious amounts of sex and alcohol and hanging out with her newfound family.
Okay. Never mind then.
So, no, you could check police records being paranoid, but it's not going to turn up anything. Because her records are currently because she's done enough crimes that people would do a special investigation. So they're not going to be left in some, desk drawer, desk file on some lowly detective's computer.
Okay. I wouldn't want to search I wouldn't know what else to search, so I'm done.
But you can find out at this Jackpoint, she sells data, she sells ID manufacturing, and apparently she also does video game support, she does modding for video games. She's got a nice plethora of skills at which she does at Jackpoint and offers to people. So, this seems to be a place she goes to a lot.
I want to read her reviews.
Her video game design is outlandish. For simple kind of click setup and small adventure setups, she's getting 4 and 5 stars. Her ID manufacturing, people complain that she's not the fastest in the world. There are people out there you can get faster with higher prices, but at least she's affordable. As far as data goes, nobody feels that she's done wrong just yet, so she hasn't been burned. When you sell data and information, you've got one of 2 options. Either you're good or you're burned. If you sell somebody bad information and they come back on you, you get burned. There's no stars. It's just you're out.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to go on Yelp for the stars.
You have to go on Yelp. Nice. Okay, so you guys want to head off to the...
I think the garage is the easiest.
What'd you say?
The garage might be the easiest.
Okay, let's see the garage.
Ooh, you know what? Breaking into the mall sounds like a bad idea, but we need some outside help on the ankle bracelet, so maybe we can also get some outside help on breaking into the computer system at the mall to see what the schedule is. We might want to contact someone.
Call Sunny up.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
You call her.
I'll call.
You call her shield.
Are you scared?
She just always calls me last, so I assume she hates me.
Hey, Sonny, this is Gears.
Hey, Gears, what's going on?
We've found a lot of information on this person, but there's something we may need a hand with. We want to break into one of his jobs is at a clothing store, and we want to break in and find out his work schedule. We either need to physically break in and find out, or if we could do it computer matrix. Either way, we're good. Do you know anyone that can help with that?
Yeah, I know something. Is that the only thing you need?
Yeah, I think so.
You said one of his jobs.
Yes, he's got two. The other one we should be okay with on our own.
Would
And
it
I'll
be
look
easy?
at Odysseus and say, we're okay on the other one?
I don't know. We can do them both. We should do them both.
If we can get help on both, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess the person could help with both, yeah.
Okay, well, send me over the information on, where he works, and I'll get you the schedules.
Okay, great. I'll send the information. It's a clothing store and a car shop.
I'm gonna, message. I'm pretty sure she knows me by now,
Yes.
so I'm gonna
Do you message her from Trollface's phone? Or do you use your own phone?
No, I'll use my phone.
Okay.
It's only polite.
It's only polite.
Yeah. And besides, I want to build her up as one of my contacts, so, it's not really good for me to just use his phone all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, so basically what I'm asking her to do is just go in into their systems and pull the work schedules for the next week.
For the next week, at those two locations, for the name that you give,
Yes.
500 yen.
I won't even negotiate.
Sweet. All right. Give her like 30 minutes. She's in the middle of something.
Okay.
And then she'll get back to you. She promises she'll get you the information by at least sunup.
Okay. Then I'll message back, and I look forward to getting it.
Okay.
Right.
That was it.
Yep.
And then I can talk to them.
Thank you, Cassie.
No dice rolling or nothing. Just bam. Here's money. Make a problem go away. All right. So Sonny sends you a message, Gears, saying, I was told I will have the information before sunup.
Okay, great.
What do you guys want to do between now and sunup?
Sleep.
Sleep?
And I'll watch.
Okay. When does Odysseus intend to sleep?
I'll wake Gears up probably at 2, 3 o'clock.
Midnight, 1 or 2, yeah. What time is it now?
10-ish, right on 10-ish.
Yeah, 1 or 2 would be fine.
Alright. Yeah, I'll do 2 o'clock.
Okay. So around 2-ish, like right before, like 1:45, Sonny sends you a file. Gears' phone a file. You're sitting there watching, and you see his phone light up, and Sonny's name kind of scrolls onto the screen.
Okay. I'll go ahead and wake him up when the message comes in.
The message is rather interesting. Sonny says this person was able to get the schedule. Here's the schedule. Go
He
ahead.
grabbed my phone.
No, I woke you up.
Oh, okay.
So he wakes you up and it shows you, it says, hey, message came through. So you guys are going to open it. The person sits there, the Sonny says they got in, and here's his schedule. And so you can see that he's off on Tuesday. By the way, it's rolling into Monday morning. So he's off on Tuesday from the Greater Sales Place, the clothing store, and the mall. They do not have any kind of electronic way to track timesheets out at this Silver Station, so she couldn't get anything there. But Sonny also puts in, she's given me a freebie. If you want me to change anything about his schedule, just let her know there was that option.
Okay. So we have to break into the car place.
Yeah, because this person couldn't get any car details.
How are you on rest? Do you need to rest a little bit, get some sleep, and then wait one more? Because if he's off Tuesday, well, we could change that and make it any day. So do you want to break into the car place tonight with a few hours that have left, or should we wait till tomorrow night, which would be Monday night? Today is Monday?
Monday, yeah, right now it's like 2 a.m. Monday morning.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm coming on pretty short hours without sleep.
Yeah.
2 hours without sleep.
That's what I was thinking. So we could wait till Monday night, break in Monday night, and then if we have to change the schedule at the clothing store to make match the other place, we could do that.
Yeah. And we can use Monday to scope out the garage better and see what kinds of potential security they have, like be it
Scope out what? I'm sorry.
The garage, the car shop.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. See if they've got cameras or dogs or whatever.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, so I'll get a few hours of sleep.
Okay.
Cool.
And
So you guys are gonna chillax at this point in time. Get sleep, get rest. You're gonna keep an eye on him, or you just keep the fly spy in the house? I mean,
No, I'm going to keep an eye on him
alright.
with the fly.
Alright, so, John, you're crashing for what, a good 6-8 hours?
maybe 4.
4 hours. And Jay, you're gonna stay up at that time. When John gets up, you're gonna crash. You guys are gonna keep a vigilant watch on him as much as possible?
Yes. But I got my sleep. When he wakes, I'll let him sleep till like 6 or so, and then we can start doing whatever we want to do.
Because if Nino's got to be at work on Monday morning, he's probably going to be leaving like 6:37 to get there.
Yeah.
So if I sleep till 6, we can get up, follow him. Both of us can follow him.
Yeah.
Okay, so Monday morning when he heads for work, your guys are following him out to Silver Station.
Yes.
Okay. Ask me questions. I will start off by saying it is a 6-bay semi-truck garage. So the garage doors are big enough for semi-trucks to roll into. They have a gas pump out front for semi-trucks as well as a gas pump for cars. It's not the kind of pump like people are lined up to go to. It's kind of a pump that they use just to fill vehicles with, gasoline, diesel. There's an automotive warehouse kind of thing kick in. There's a front store area where people can come in and like hang out and wait for their truck to get fixed and stuff like that. And that's pretty much it.
Couple questions. When I was doing the tempo and I was seeing like I might be confusing it with something else. When you can see like icons, you can see icons like over all the mechanical stuff.
Uh-huh.
That's something I can do, right?
Yes, you have your RCC, your command console, has the ability to hook up to your control rig, which is a DNI. That allows you to access and hot sims in. If you have AR goggles of some type, like you've got goggles, right?
Yes.
When you're wearing the goggles and you go turn on your AR, it allows you to see icons around without being in the Matrix. If you cold sim or hot sim in, you can then see the icons around on the Matrix. But you're also simmed in at that point.
I want to use my goggles to look for icons.
Yeah, there's icons. Registers, maybe computers inside, wireless computer or wireless devices, tools that they use.
Are they connected to a network though, like a cloud network?
No, they do seem to be connected to a closed-off wireless network that's in the building itself, which means you could probably mark it up from here and gain access to, which if you had a computer to deck with, you could mark it up. And most likely this person that Cassie hired was able to mark that system up and get inside.
But she couldn't find any stuff on schedules. Okay. So then, is there any security systems that I can see icons?
No. Do you see any security systems? That would be a perception check.
You may want to do a perception check too on this one, Dog.
Yeah. I was actually going to ask also if in any of the other 2 days that I had been staking out, did I hear or see any signs of dogs or guard animals?
Did you ever go on property?
No, I was off property all the time.
Perception is logic and perception?
Intuition and perception.
Intuition.
I'm going to take what's left of my pack of cigarettes and do like a once around the garage. Can I walk around all 4 sides of it?
There's a fenced-in back area where there is old vehicles parked, a junkyard, so you can walk the fence. Would you want to try that?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to walk anywhere where it would be like, why the fuck is he walking there?
That's probably going to happen if you walk the fence, but the fence has a lot of overgrown bushes around it, and so you could probably sneak if you wanted to. And if you look more homeless, you might just be ignored as a transient. I mean, you look like a transient, right?
I can. I mean, I'm already like wearing a ratty trench coat. I can just rub some dirt on my face.
I got some grease back there if you want to rub some grease all over you.
It would be a disguise charisma test. If you don't have disguise, you default on your charisma. Those dice add to your stealth.
Okay. I'll roll that first then. So I get 1 dice.
So you have a charisma of 2?
Yes.
Haha. No successes, but you didn't glitch. So you do still look like it. Actually, you know what? Because you said your clothes is kind of ratty, go ahead and toss in another dice.
Oh, okay. You want me to just roll one more dice? Or you want me to roll?
Roll one more dice.
What if you put some like grease on his face?
That'll give him another dice.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely.
Alright, so roll 2 dice. There we go. So you got 1 success. So that gives you an extra dice to your sneak roll and also brings up your limit, which is, it is a social limit at this point for your sneaking. So it's sneaking plus, now do you want to avoid being seen or do you care to be seen? If you're avoiding being seen, it's agility. If you don't care to be seen and you're trying to camouflage in, it's charisma.
I'll go with agility.
Alright. Agility plus sneaking.
Plus 2.
Plus 1 dice. Yeah.
Okay.
And what is your mental limit?
It's a 5, but if it gets increased by 1, it's a 6.
I apologize. What's your physical limit? Your physical limit.
Physical is 6.
Okay, so yeah, you're fine. Alright, John. As you're sneaking around the back fence, you find an opening in it. There is a large section of the back fence, which is part of a ditch, and trucks have rolled into the ditch, just knocking the fence over. And so it's easy just to climb in.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do a perception because I want to make sure nobody's around before I try and go in.
Okay, no, not that you can see. But once you do get in and start moving around, you do find dog tracks.
Okay. Bigger or smaller paws than the hellhound?
Smaller. These poor people couldn't afford a hellhound.
Well, that's good for me. I mean, maybe not. I can control them. Okay. So I don't want to go anywhere close to where anybody's working, but I wanted to see if I can scope out maybe any of your other potential hazards for when breaking in. Maybe like an alternate escape route if something goes wrong and I can't get back to the hole in the fence.
Alright, so the junkyard section is about 9 rows of broken down trucks and just a few cars and vans and stuff, which creates a total of 7 alleyways that crisscross and whatnot. They don't really go too much in a straight line, so there are a few that are straight enough that you can get in and look all the way up to the mechanic shop, and the rest are pretty curvy. So you could definitely run and get lost in this maze of vehicles.
And still no sign of the dog other than the footprint.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't want to risk getting caught in here, and Gears' spy can fly around from the inside, get in there.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and head back.
All right. So you catch back up to the soy bucks, and Gears. Gears, while he's maneuvering around, he said he was going to go do a walk around out back. Did you want to do anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna fly my fly spy through and just look for cameras and stuff.
You don't see any cameras. You see a lot of tools for working on trucks and stuff, but no cameras. Motion sensors. There are motion sensors, but no cameras. No infrared sensors, no pressure plates, no scything blades that come down from the ceiling. Nothing. It's actually, they have big ass mag locks on the doors.
Okay. But if there would have been, if there were sensors, I would have seen them as icons, right?
Unless they were running stealthily, and that would require somebody who knows what they're doing. You do find the computer in the place, and it is something that looks like it comes out of the 2020s.
Okay.
It still has a floppy hard drive on the front end.
Oh, a floppy.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that I can see?
Yeah, you think you see the main office that's set back where there are people doing office work and stuff. It's a total of 2 people, an elderly fat man and a skinny elderly woman, sitting behind 2 desks, punching away, writing stuff down.
Okay. I'll head back to the fly spot and I want to mark down on paper where all the motion sensors are.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right. So are you intending to follow Lino when he gets off work?
What time does he get off?
Of course, once again, noon.
Noon. Okay. Yeah. I think we're going to keep following him.
Yeah, we're going to follow him until we pick him up.
Okay.
But before, when he and I are hanging out at the Soy Bucks, he's got his fly spy flying around. I would like to suggest trying to find a paper schedule, so maybe in the office somewhere, since they don't have it.
See if there's one laying around.
Yeah, maybe on a bulletin board or something.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Could I go look at the computer screens and the paperwork with my fly spy?
Go ahead.
Without moving anything. Maybe we're lucky and there's a schedule lying around somewhere.
You find schedules for vehicles out in the bays and stuff, but nothing for personnel.
Okay.
You have to get into the office, which means you'll have to wait for a moment that the fly spy can actually fly in there. And then you run a small risk of somebody noticing it.
I'll leave it there until like 11:30 or so, and then I'll want it to fly back.
Okay. You're going to wait for the opportunity to arise to fly in?
Yeah.
And do so in an extreme stealthy situation.
Yes.
Alright, we're going to roll a d6, and that's the number of attempts that you're going to have at this. And 2. So between now and 11:30-ish, there's 2 attempts where the door actually opens up, and you can dive bomb it. I'm going to roll 2d6 for the perception skill. This is their intuition plus their perception of the people walking in and out of the door. So one person's got a 6, the other person has a 10. So the first person is going to be probably the easiest one for you to get past.
Okay.
So I'm rolling my 6 dice. I got 2 successes. Now you need to stealth with your drone. Do you have the stealth program for your drone?
Yes.
Alright, what's its rating?
I don't know.
When you purchased it, you had to buy a rating for it.
How much are they?
Autosofts. Okay, here we go. And you want the Autosoft Model Stealth. Let's go look. I have no idea how to reference the price of programs for this game. It's like $80 for a common one, but I don't think Stealth is going to be a common program. Here we go. No, that's expensive as heck. Software, agents, programs, TutorSoft.
Sarah says 250 new yen.
Per rating?
Well, that's for a program for a deck. I don't know how that translates to rounds.
Yeah, I'm not seeing an actual cost for the Autosofts, but I know they're not free.
Can I write one?
You don't have the time for it. Hacking programs, agents, it doesn't count as an almighty Google.
Well, I didn't have one, so I won't. We'll say I don't have it.
I'll look more into this. We'll go with 500. That sounds good. Thank you very much.
I'm not going to buy it. I'm just going to go without it, and I'll write the program when I get time.
You'll probably want to sim in then, because otherwise it's based upon your drone's piloting.
Yeah, I'm going to hot sim.
So now it's based upon your attributes instead, with a +2.
Okay, now I have sneak.
Yep.
So what do I use?
You're going to be using your agility, sneak, 2 extra dice, I do believe.
Agility, sneaking, and 2 extra for being hot sim.
I don't know. I think that's wrong, because you're piloting. It's your piloting. What's your piloting for your drone?
5.
And that's a reaction-based skill.
So 6, 5 is 11. I don't get to use my sneaking at all. Okay. 4 success.
Okay. That'll definitely beat the individual going through the door. I will have to reread on drones. I think I'm a rusty on it, and I think you should read up on drones too, so that we're both not all fumbling around with this next time. Yeah, you get your drone in, and you begin flying around.
I'm going to look for some sign of work schedule.
Yeah, not a problem. You find a handwritten schedule. It's tacked to the wall. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean you have the ability to turn the pages of the schedule to look to find Lino's name, because there's a lot of names on it. But you do find it.
So at least now we know where to look when I break in.
Yeah. You can head straight for that thing.
Which makes everything faster.
Yeah.
Alright, so you call your drone back?
Yes.
Alright, we're going to assume that you're able to get out. If you were able to get in, you're able to get out. Lino leaves work, heads off to the house, or heads off to grab him some lunch before he heads off to his next job. You guys going to hang out at the mall and check out the security systems there, or are you guys good with the mall?
I'll check it out. No, I'm not going to check the security system, but I'm going to stalk him.
At the mall? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you go into the store?
No, just with my flag.
Oh, okay. John?
Yeah, so while Lino's getting lunch, I'm gonna clean my face off, and yeah, I'll go into the store.
Okay.
Thanks for listening to the original box set Shadowrun podcast. Our runners will pick up where we left off next week. In the meantime, you can connect with us via Facebook or YouTube to check out actual play videos of the original box set playing Shadowrun and other tabletop RPGs. You can also swing by our website at originalboxset.com and check out our gaming calendar, additional information about our games, and images that inspire our worlds and characters. And if you're enjoying our work, please consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/originalboxset so that we can continue to bring you this podcast as well as other great actual plays and entertainment. Today's featured music is titled Epic Song from Alpha Brutal, and trust me, the whole song is pretty epic, so check it out. We'll catch you next week, chummers. And now for all this legal dreck. Original Box Set is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial 4.0 International License. You can share us, but please give us credit. The Topps Company Inc. has sole ownership over the names, logo, artwork, marks, photographs, sounds, audio, video, and or any proprietary material used in connection with the game Shadowrun. The Topps Company Inc. has granted permission to Original Box Set, that's us, to use such names, logos, artwork, marks, and or any proprietary materials for promotional and informational purposes on its website, but does not endorse and is not affiliated with Original Box Set in any official capacity whatsoever. Oh my goodness, that's so much. Okay, bye.